Hello, dear aspirants. I'm Akriti Kanchi, your mentor from PrepIS, and I'm trying to help you read newspaper in UPSC relevant manner. And I request you all to keep the syllabus of UPSC, especially main syllabus, on side while reading it, and keep connecting the articles to the syllabus of UPSC, right? Today is 17th April. We are starting with must-read articles of 17th April along with important points. We pick points from prelims, mains, essay point of view, and we keep telling how to utilize those things in your answers, okay? So let's start with the 17th April front page. So this WACF Act has been brought recently in 2025 by Parliament. WACF by user denotification would be a huge problem, says Supreme Court, right? So right now, Chief Justice Khanna is hearing around 100 petitions over this act, and so he has proposed 3-point interim order to balance equities. Court was adjourned without passing any interim order. So discussion is going on, and this comes under GS paper 2, government policies and interventions for development in various sector. I've written GS paper 1 by mistake. Okay, so this is GS paper 2. Also, we share the highlighted PDF of the selected articles in our Telegram channel. I request you to go and find it in our channel. Okay, so this is ongoing thing, and there's no use of discussion till it comes to a conclusion. So we will discuss it in detail when this thing comes to a conclusion. Okay, till then just keep following it. I'll share it. So next article is India-China move to restart Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So it's one of the most respected pilgrimage of Hindus, Dham, right? So this comes under GS paper to India and neighborhood relations. And India, right now, India and Chinese relations are becoming better, improving. So Indian and Chinese officials are speeding up efforts to reach an agreement on restarting the annual Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, which has been suspended since 2019. Okay, so a lot of infrastructure, logistics, everything is being checked. And this, how do the pilgrims go? They go from Dharchula to Lipu Lake. Okay, pass Dharchula to Lipu Lake pass, saving them a trek of about 80 to 100 kilometers. Okay. So Lipu Lake Pass is part of Mansarovar Yatra, that you should know. Let's move to the next article. So this article, the entire article is not important. Just one of the examples that you can use in your mains answer when question comes about health sector. For example, what are the challenges that India is facing in health sector? So there is a problem of this fake doctors, okay? So this fake cardiologist case, license of MP's Mission Hospital suspended. GS paper 2, issues related to development and management of social sector, health sector. So this kind of, duplicate doctors are also there, and you can give this as an example. Okay, let's move to the next. These are also called quacks. So the practicing of quacks is wrong, and you can give example. This has happened in MP, a fake cardiologist doctor, and so many deaths happened because of his fake operations. Another article, again just headline. This is again an example to be given in the issues of education in the country. So right now what happened, Delhi High Court slams DPS Dwarka for inhuman treatment of students. This comes under GS paper 2, issues related to development and management of education sector. Okay, so court threatens closure of the school if they are not behaving well. The court will close the school. Fee disputes cannot justify subjecting children to indignity and harassment. Just because some students had not given some hiked fees, you cannot behave bad to them, right? So this is the case, and you can give example that few schools are doing this. Let's move to the next article. So, okay, so Tamil Nadu has always been very vocal about its culture and language. So, Tamil Nadu government issues advisory to all departments mandating use of Tamil as official language. Okay, so they have issued an advisory to senior officials. So, use of Tamil as the official language in offices. Communication sent by department heads to governments and other offices should be in Tamil. Barring exempted cases, all other letters and communication should be in Tamil. This comes under GS paper 2, issues related to federal structure. Language is a very important part of federal structure, because of which State Reorganization Commission was formed in 1956 and a lot of states were divided, okay, like Andhra Pradesh. Let's move to the next article. IIT Bombay graduate launches free website to make Sanskrit literature accessible to all. So this will come under GS paper 1, art and culture. Also, you know, how science and technology is promoting art and culture, and it's quite a good individual effort that you can quote in essay, that to do good for your culture or your society. You don't need to do something extremely out of the way. Simple gestures are also sufficient, like to bring together Sanskrit literature and reading tools. Antariksh Bothle is a software engineer who's working in Google. Okay, he has launched sanskritSahitya.org, a website, a free website for anyone desiring quick access to Sanskrit literary texts. Okay, bringing his academic knowledge and professional expertise in natural language processing into the field of Sanskrit literature. So, what all has been included? Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Mahakavya, poems written by Kalidas. Right. So, you should, if you know any poems and novels written by Kalidas, please mention in the comments below. One of them is Meghdoot. If you know more, please mention. And there will be structured navigation based on Sarg, Adhyay, Kand, Shlok. Let's move to the next article. So, Supreme Court has again reprimanding a state, Telangana, protect Kancha Gachibauli forest. Supreme Court tells Telangana, questioning the need to deploy bulldozers to destroy 100 acres in just 3 days. Justice Gawai asked the state to come out with a plan to restore the forest that they have, removed. Advocate for state denies the land is a forest. Okay, so this comes under GS paper 3, conservation measures. So it is a type of sustainable development where development things, environment is being affected. So Supreme Court directed the Telangana wildlife warden to take immediate steps to protect the wildlife affected by the destruction of 100 acres of the Kancha Gachibauli forest area. And if they don't, right, better courses would be and they have to bring the better courses to come up with a plan to restore the forest. Otherwise, they will be sent to prison. Let's move to the next article. So there is an interesting article here. Okay, so India is a country with full of art and culture here and there, but we with lack of awareness about it, we don't value it. Okay, so this has happened in this Telangana's Nangunuru village. Okay, so facing threat from, so people were doing quarrying activities, that is, stones, picking stones and all. Telangana's tallest Jain idol lies neglected. So this comes under GS paper 1, art and culture. Also prelims fact. Okay, so this Telangana's tallest stone sculpture of Jain Tirthankar Vardhaman Mahavir, okay, located at Nangunuru village in Siddipet district, is under threat from quarrying activity. The sculpture erected on low-lying hillock in the southern part stands 9 feet tall, depicting Mahavir, Vardhaman Mahavir in Kayotsarg posture. This is Kayotsarg posture as a stiff posture. You should know all these postures also. Okay, into the ground up to the knee level. This sculpture represents Digambar sect of Jainism and features Ushnisha. Ushnisha is the cranial protrusion on the head, characteristic of Tirthankar iconography. Tirthankar iconography, and this sculpture belongs to 9th century Rashtrakuta period. Okay, important. So they can conclude that Nangunuru was once a prominent Jain center. A Jain basadi or monastery once existed there. Okay, and these people are also trying to, archaeological survey of Indian archaeologists are trying to sensitize the village to store this, and it will act as a future tourism thing also. Let's move to the next article. This article we have already discussed yesterday about inflation reaching lowest in last 5.5 years, and the hope that RBI will further reduce the repo rate to promote the growth. Okay, so this comes to GS paper 3, economy, monetary policy, good news and bad. So the good news is that retail inflation has reached almost 6-year low of 3.34%, and that's why people are expecting that RBI will cut the repo rate in the next monetary policy meeting, which it has already cut to and brought it to 6%. Okay, so this repo rate, when RBI has to control inflation. Okay, but when inflation is already low, it can push liquidity in the market by reducing the repo rate, and the repo rate reduction has already begun translating. Then the banks further translate into lower interest on the bank loans that we as consumers and businesses will take from the bank. In normal time, this would translate into greater capital flows into business, thereby raising jobs, incomes, and consumption. But right now there's a lot of uncertainty because of US policies and ongoing trade war, right? So that's why there's a concern over near-term demand contraction because of US stopping the exports from India, right? But as America has been India's largest buyer of merchandise goods since 2022, but still India has a good domestic consumption, so there won't be much of an issue. Another other side of this coin is that since the retail inflation is so low, the farmers, that means farmers' incomes will also reduce. Okay, so farmers' incomes reduction, that means rural consumption will reduce. So that is one of the issues. A study by Ministry of Food Processing said that India's post-harvest loss at a whopping 1.52 trillion rupees annually is a bad news. Okay, 86% of Indian farmers make a living from less than 2 hectares of land. That is, they are small and marginal farmers. More than 85% are small and marginal farmers in India, that is less than 2 hectares. Okay, a more comprehensive NSSO 2019 survey say that the income was only 10,000 per month, which is very low. Okay, so figures are lower than those of emerging economies, China, Mexico, Brazil. So we'll have to balance on that side also. Okay, let's move to the next article. We have already discussed this on our front page yesterday. Monsoon anticipation, GS paper Indian geography. This year we are expecting a normal monsoon. Last year also it was normal monsoon. Okay, the historical average is 87 centimeter. India is likely to receive a little above normal, that is 5%. A second consecutive year of above normal. Last year it was 8% more than normal. So it is good for Kharif sowing crops. Government has also committed to procure the MSP of pulses, right? So rains will be helpful in good harvest of pulses. There is so what are the factors that affect monsoon? That El Nino is one of the factors for which they are certain that there will be absence of El Nino, because presence of El Nino reduces the monsoon. Okay, so there will be absence of El Nino. Another encouraging factor is parameter called Eurasian snow cover or snow cover areas of northern hemisphere, which has inverse relationship with that year's summer monsoon rainfall. According to IMD, the Eurasian snow cover has inverse relationship with that year's summer monsoon rainfall. Okay, so less snow corresponds to more rain in India, right? So IMD uses these models that stimulate the ocean and atmosphere. Okay, let's go to the next article. This article entirely is not important because it is very technical. That much we don't require. Shaping a response to US reciprocal tariffs. We all know what US has done. It is the tariff on India right now is 27%. And this comes under GS paper 2, effect of policies and politics of developed country like US. Okay, so this big economist, very reputed economist, C. Rangarajan and D.K. Srivastava are saying that main Indian exports that will be affected by imposition of this 27% tariff are the main fields that will be affected are electrical machinery, gems and jewelry, machinery and mechanical appliances, mineral fuels and articles of iron and steel. Pharmaceuticals are not yet subject to additional tariff. Okay, so main affected things will be electrical machinery and mechanical appliances and made up textiles. We have other competitors here also, just like China, Vietnam, Cambodia and South Korea. Right? China has already started reciprocal tariffs for which it is getting an aggressive response from USA. Right? So India should also be conscious of dumping being done by other countries like China in this case scenario. So you should know what is dumping. If you know what is dumping, please mention in the comments. Also, we need to create a world trading system marked by low tariffs. The WTO should move strongly in this direction of low tariffs. That's it. Let's move to the next article. In this article, they are talking about tribal people who have suffered a lot because of forest issues. Okay, so calls for permanent settlement for tribals. This comes under GS paper 2, welfare schemes for vulnerable population by center and state. Here the vulnerable section is tribals. Okay, so there was this program called Strategic Hamleting Program. Okay, to counter the Maoists. So government of India embarked on this strategic hamleting program, an approach used in South Vietnam in 1960s to eliminate Maoists in Chhattisgarh. Okay, so what they did, they remove Maoists there, they took the tribals from there and relocated them to Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so what happened to the people who got relocated? Neither the Andhra Pradesh accepted them, nor the local people accepted them, nor the Telangana took steps from them. And after so many years, Chhattisgarh, the state, their original state, is also not wanting to accept them. That is the major problem they are facing because of this strategic hamleting program. Okay, and the Maoists also are making sure that these people don't come. Okay, so they are belonging to nowhere, and this is a problem of tribal issues, and they're not even able to take benefit of tribal reservation also. Okay, so some of these dislocated tribals are now the backbone of the current military success of security forces against Maoists in Chhattisgarh. So they have joined the forces, okay, because they have good knowledge of the local knowledge of the area, which normal police doesn't have. Normal local police doesn't have. This strategic hamlet program has succeeded in Mizoram. Okay, this strategic hamlet strategy was successful in Mizoram. Okay, and it reached a peace deal with Mizo fighters. So this National Commission of Scheduled Tribes has said representative from Chhattisgarh government stated that around 10,000 gone tribals have been displaced to other states due to ongoing violence, and most of them do not want to return. So these are the problems of internally displaced people. Okay, and India abides by these international law of displaced peoples. So they have to be protected under as per clause 3.1 of Forest Right Act. If a tribal person was forced to vacate a forest land under a position, the state must provide her with alternative forest land. That has not happened, and that's why they are suffering, and we need a solution as sooner as possible. Let's move to the next article. You can give this an example. One of the issues that tribals are facing. Okay, you can give this example of strategic hamlet program. Decadal growth average, a balanced formula for delimitation. Delimitation issue has been going on for a long time. That how the seats in Lok Sabha will be divided with respect to the population of the state and within the population of the state, within the state's population. So this writer is suggesting using the decadal growth average formula, the center can address regional concerns and uphold the principles of federalism. Okay, so this can be one of the suggestions. That's it, nothing more here. Let's move to the next article. How China is fighting US tariffs. So this is again GS paper 2, effect of policies of developed countries like US and China. So the most unexpected development following the launch of Trump's trade war has been China's retaliation, its long-term strategy of hedging against risk. And from the actions of an aggressive trade partner, it has tried to save itself. Okay, so both China and Japan has lowered their holding of US Treasury bond over the years, although Japan's holding has increased. Okay, you can see in this reports also, in this graph also. So China's holding has reduced to $761 billion. Okay, and it is just 8.1% of the Treasury bond. In 2018, US was China's largest export market with 19.2% share. But China, knowing that such kind of thing can come from US, it has, over past 6 years, it has reduced the export market. So now US is only constituting 15% of China's export market in the first quarter of 2025. Only 13 in first quarter of 2025 it was only 13.5%. So from 19 to 15 to 30, and China continues to remain a second largest holder of United States Treasury bond. So these are the ways, by diversifying its exports as a part of its defensive strategy, China is in position to leverage its two significant strengths to force the hands of its aggregator. So it is diversifying. It is not depending on USA for its exports. So if US will stall the exports, China will suffer a lot. So it's making sure that it is diversifying to all the other countries, and it is doing a good job there. Okay, so that's it for this article. Let's move to the next article. Yes, and yeah. So this is again our Honorable Minister of External Affairs, S. Jaishankar. Northeastern region is a gateway to Southeast Asia, says S. Jaishankar. This comes under GS paper 2, international relations, India and its neighborhood relations. Okay, so recently Muhammad Yunus, the Bangladesh interim government's chief advisor, had given some controversial statements in China responding to that. Not exactly responding to that, but in response to that, they are saying that it has a lot of potential rather than being a landlocked region. So in a virtual address to the ambassadors meet of Northeast Investor, Jaishankar said the potential of the region and encouraged investors to take advantage. The Northeastern region is at the heart of many key Indian policies like Neighborhood First, Act East or BIMSTEC. Okay, so Northeast adjoins five of our neighbors are adjoined through Northeast only. What are those neighbors? Bhutan, China, Myanmar, Bangladesh. Okay, so if you have one more answer, one more state you're missing, please mention in the comments. Okay. So that's why they're highlighting the growing relevance of the Northeast as a gateway to Southeast Asia, a tourism hub and a contributor to the global workplace. Okay, let's move to the next article. Now, this is one article given by Supreme Court. Urdu is the finest specimen of composite cultural ethos of India, says Supreme Court. This comes under GS paper 1, Art and Culture. Language, Supreme Court has said it is pitiable digression from reality to believe that Hindi is the language of Hindus and Urdu is the Muslims. This is not so, right? A language is the only means of communication and does not represent religion. Language is culture. Language is the yardstick to measure the civilizational march of a community to its people, okay? So Urdu is the finest specimen of Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb or the Hindustani Tehzeeb. It is a composite cultural ethos of the plains of northern and central India. So this language has combined with local language and has led to Hindavi and thereby Urdu. The court said Urdu was not an alien language. It is born and nurtured in India and reached greater refinement and became a language of choice for poets in India, okay? So like Urdu, like Marathi, Hindu, Urdu is also an Indo-Aryan language. Hindi and Urdu were fundamentally one language. Urdu was just written in Nashtalic and Hindi was written in Devanagari, okay? So their grammar, their phonology, most of the major things, they are similar, Hindi and Urdu. Okay, so the fusion of two language met a roadblock when Puritans or fundamentalists in each language, so Hindi was going closer to Sanskrit and Urdu started getting closer to Persia because of some people. So that was not the case initially. They came because it was a common man's everyday Hindi was peppered with Urdu. So we all, when we speak, we have certain Urdu words in our lingo. Let's put the next article. So there's almond benefits. Okay, some almonds rein in weight, cholesterol and hypertension, confirmed study. So you should know basic things that almond results in small reductions in weight, LDL cholesterol and diastolic blood pressures and improved glycemic response. So these are the benefits of almonds. Let's move to the next article. India's trade deficit with China widens. We are, as China, our job is to reduce that trade deficit, but the trade deficit is widening to record $99.2 billion, okay? So by surge in imports of electronic goods and consumer durables, okay? This comes under GS paper 2, India-China bilateral relations. So right now trade deficit with China is $99.2 billion, around $100 billion, okay? So now WTO here, WTO forecast global merchandise trade to fall to 0.2% amid tariff tension. This comes under GS paper 3, economy, world economy forecast. Trade could shrink even further to 1.5% in 2025 if the situation deteriorates. Global trade outlook and statistics report. So who brings this report from prelims point of view? All of you who are going to give prelims this year. Global trade outlook and statistics report is brought by World Trade Organization, okay? So in 2024, the world merchandise trade had grown by 2.9%, but now they are projecting a fall of 0.2% and further of to 1.5%, okay? So that is with this article. And UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, also said global growth may slow to 2.3%. Okay, let's go to the next article, and it will mostly affect developing countries, not the developed countries. Last article, does AI still hallucinate or is it becoming more reliable? Okay, so this is coming under GS paper 3, Science and Technology, Development, Applications and Challenges. New AI models are being trained with more data on queries where their predecessors used to hallucinate. So what is hallucinate? When AI does not give the correct answer, it gives very weird answers and not on the lines, okay? So not on the correct lines. So models like ChatGPT won't be able to reach a stage where they don't hallucinate unless they are updated with all possible knowledge all across the globe on real-time basis, okay? So the popular name for this bizarre answers that ChatGPT gives is hallucination. AI model face questions whose answers they weren't trained to come up with, they make sometimes, okay? So like Google's AI overview, ChatGPT has also been prone to hallucination. ChatGPT 3.5 had 55% fabricated answers. ChatGPT 4 became better with 18%. Hallucination make AI models unreliable and limit their applications. Experts say they were skeptical how reliable AI tools are, okay? So there are two steps in AI. To evaluate an AI model, two criteria are used. One is consistency and other is factuality. Consistency refers to ability of an AI module, consistency refers to the ability of an AI model to produce similar outputs. Factuality refers to how correctly an AI model is able to respond to a situation. The factuality is getting problematic here. Last article of the day. Here, studied over 21 years, new species of frog named after Assam College. Leptobrachium arietum, a new to science. This is the first time the species has been observed. Okay, this species of frog which has red lines and in the eyes. Okay, so Leptobrachium arietum, a new to science frog recorded from a reserve forest on the edge of Guwahati. Okay, so this is first time. This comes under GS paper 1. Changes in flora and fauna, India's rich biodiversity. A new species of frog named after an Assam college. So Guwahati's Arya Nagar was earlier little, it was not in the right, it was not known for right things. It was called Sharab Bhatti, meaning a place for brewing liquor. But then it was later named Arya Nagar, and colleges were set up like Arya Vidyapeeth College, and this frog is named after this college. Leptobrachium arietum, a frog new to science recorded in the Garbhanga Reserve Forest. Garbhanga Reserve Forest is in Guwahati, bordering Meghalaya. You should know this. Okay, the frog stood out with its fiery orange and black eyes, a unique reticulated throat pattern, and this was a previously unknown species. Okay, it is named after a prominent college. That much is sufficient. We should know about Garbhanga Reserve Forest, a biodiversity hotspot. It is home to elephants, butterflies, rare birds, and reptiles and amphibians like Leptobrachium arietum. Such species are important. And Garbhanga Reserve Forest, you should know. That's it for 17th April. Thank you.